What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for episode 41 of Hit the Books. Lots of news this week from all around the leagues that we want to cover, so we're going to get to that right after I introduce my co-hosts, Huff and Mackie. What's going on, boys? Huff, why don't you start this week?
What's going on, everyone? Happy to be back. Like you said, episode 41. We got Mackie back this week after a little hiatus last week, but like you said, a lot of stuff to get into. Some NFL news, little big time trade going on, and obviously an NBA free agency kicking off within the past week. So a lot to get into.
Yeah, boys. I wasn't able to make it last week. Bit of a schedule malfunction, but it's in the past. So a lot to talk about this week. A lot of signings going on in the NBA, so a lot to talk about.
Yeah, lots of good stuff coming. Real excited for this week. We need to get some more plays up on that MLB card like we were talking about, boys. Let's get the units up.
Yeah, the MLBs will be coming. We're not trying to force anything. We got off to a rough start, so they'll be coming in a little stronger lately.
Now's the time. All right, I got some good news for the gambling world. Nevada exceeds $1 billion in gambling revenue for its 15th straight month, $1.3 billion this month. A state record. Visitor volume is up 19.8% from May of 2020, but still down 6.6% from May of 2019, so pre-COVID. Incredible that they're pushing record numbers with less people on the strip.
Yeah, it's just more people. It's obviously all the mobilized gambling and stuff like that. Does that count towards that?
No, I doubt it.
I don't think so.
I doubt it. Yeah,
that's just Vegas or Nevada State.
It's just gambling's just getting so much bigger. It's showing it by the day. I mean,
it's all these big UFC fights, and like you see, like this past weekend, obviously, Saturday we had Adesanya versus Cannonier, and like you look at like just all those events in Vegas, they treat that like it's like the Super Bowl for these celebrities. Like you look around the crowd, it's like Joe Burrow and Shaq, and I mean you could name anyone you want. The crowd in the first 10 rows, it's like, I mean, you got to imagine those dudes are putting some. Like, there's no way that the guys aren't putting money on fights when they go to that shit. And like when they're talking money, we're talking like thousands of $50,000, $100,000, like
$100,000 bets.
Like Joe Burrow could walk in the casino and be like, "I want 150,000 on Adesanya to win by knockout." Like it didn't happen, but you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
And that's where they get their revenue.
It all adds up.
Did you watch that UFC fight, Mackie?
I didn't. I was drinking and wasn't near a TV, so I wasn't able to watch it. I heard it was a pretty good fight, though.
It was a good fight. I didn't watch it. I just kind of like got all the highlights and stuff. They basically replayed it on ESPN with all the highlights, but there was some. There was at no point I thought Cannonier was going to beat him, but I can't believe it actually went as far as it did. But Adesanya, he's one of my favorite UFC fighters. I just like that. I like how he just like doesn't give a shit, but a lot of people don't like that.
Should we start giving out UFC plays?
I bet on a lot of big UFC fights, so whether they win or lose.
If I'm gonna watch it, I'm definitely betting on it.
Yeah, whether they win or lose, I usually bet on it. Thing is just take the money line. Do not think you're gonna be like they're gonna win by knockout. They're gonna win by decision.
By TKO, by KO. Yeah.
Don't think you're gonna fucking pick that shit. You're not. Just take the fucking steep odds. It's worth it. They're gonna win.
Yeah.
Like Adesanya was minus 500. Like put that. My play for this past fight, I guess you'd say this past match was. I texted my cousin. I was like, let's take Adesanya money line. Obviously, it was a fucking like 400. But put him with Alexander Volkanovski, he won, and then I went to put it with O'Malley, and it got it up to like plus 135. But obviously O'Malley pushed, so you would have got it at like minus 160. I think was just the two. Legs.
Yeah. See, I like doing parlays for UFC because there's a lot of heavy favorites, and I don't like betting TKO or like way of winning. So
it's because they know. Yeah, I mean, the guys on the main cards are just way too good. They're not going to get knocked out unless you. I mean, like. You know what I mean?
It's not like probable that they get knocked out.
Yeah. There's a reason it's plus 200 for Adesanya to knock out Cannonier. You know what I mean? Or whatever it was.
Yeah, no matter how much you think you know about UFC, you can't predict if it's going to be a knockout or if it's going to go the distance. Or
Yeah, I don't like doing the over under on rounds. I just pick a fighter.
yeah, it's the most simple way to do it.
And
It's definitely fun. It's definitely one of my favorite sports to bet, though. It's fun. It's like, interesting.
I feel like most of the time in the UFC, when someone does get knocked out, the underdog wins.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like in that last fight, if Cannonier would have caught him with a uppercut and put him to
That's
sleep.
his only way. That's his only way of winning, because I feel like
Exactly.
the favorites play conservative because
There's too much money on Adesanya for him to lose by decision.
and they have the edge, so they don't have to be aggressive. When you're an underdog, you got to throw those haymakers that will knock them out if they connect, even though chances are they're not going to connect.
I remember watching Jared Cannonier sleep. I believe it was Derek Lewis. Me and Jesse were sitting at McFadden's watching. I forget who the main card was that night. It was another.
Was it the elbow?
It was another
The
Adesanya
elbow.
night. Yeah, that elbow to his face. Oh my
Dude,
god!
I had Derek
Yeah.
Lewis. I had Derek Lewis
too.
for my parlay
Me too.
for like $700, and oh my god! And he was dominating the entire fight.
Yeah, dude, he was killing him the whole fight. And then Cannonier lands one elbow and then sleeps him and bounces Lewis's head off the fucking canvas.
Yeah, Cannonier just needed to get out of that first round. I remember it was like right in the beginning of the second round that he knocked him out because he was getting beat.
That's what I mean.
Beaten up.
I feel like when an underdog wins, they knock him out.
Yeah,
He was a big underdog. I mean, Lewis was what, minus 160 in that fight?
something like that.
It was
Yeah,
a nice parlay piece, but didn't hit. I think I had him and Adesanya that night. That was Adesanya's last fight.
I don't really remember. I just remember I had him.
Maybe it was Masvidal. Who was fighting that night? It was a February fight. Could have been Adesanya. It was like 6 months ago.
It was, yeah, I remember I was at school for it because Beal gave me the parlay.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for some UFC picks, boys.
Yeah, definitely.
Alrighty, let's jump in. MLB. First up, the Astros are the only team to no-hit the Yankees since 1958. June 11th, 2003, and most recently here June 25th, 2022. Just something I found, wanted to add. Thought that was a pretty crazy stat coming here out of June.
Wait, what does that mean? They're the only team to no-hit the Yankees since 1950. Oh, so they've only been no-hit twice since 1958, and both by the Astros?
Correct.
Yeah, I saw
Okay.
that. I read that too, and I had to read it like 3 times. I was like, they've only been twice.
I was like, the only team ever, or I don't know. That was.
I was more. I knew what it meant. I was just like, they've only been no hit twice since what's the year? 1950, 60?
1958.
And they were both in like the 2000s, like 2003, 2022.
That's insane.
Well, you know how good the Yankees were in like even for like 4 decades from the 60s to the 2000s.
Yeah, for real.
Ridiculous. So
The late 90s, early 2000s Yankees were disgusting.
that 98 team was probably the best team of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't think this team would get no hit.
That was I mean, the Astros have their number.
Astros are also so good. They have just as good of a chance of winning it, I think, as the Yankees do.
Jesse, did you see JJ Magijevic from Norwin got his first home run for the Astros?
Yeah, I did see
That
that.
was pretty cool. It was against, I don't think it was against the Yankees, but
No,
I did see his home. No, it was against the White Sox on Sunday Night Baseball. It was pretty cool.
That's
It
sweet.
was a nice hit.
Alrighty, next up, we got the NHL. Some good stuff coming out of here. And some not so good stuff, I guess I can say. First up, Tampa Bay Lightning received defenseman Felipe Myers and Grant Mishmash from Nashville in exchange for Ryan McDonough. Pretty interesting move here. Just nothing crazy out of there, but just a move from the Lightning.
I didn't even see this till right now.
Really?
I didn't know McDonough was gone.
Yeah,
No.
I think you're starting to see Tampa Bay kind of unload and figure out how they can rebuild. And it was kind of, I don't know. I feel like I heard stuff about him during the playoffs about they were talking about trading him. Like, not that they could during the playoffs, but there was talks. I forget, someone said something. They didn't think he was going to be with the Lightning next year. So I guess this was kind of expected. But McDonough to Nashville, you said, I believe, isn't the team?
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, that's a good match. That's a nice little matchup for him. He can go behind you. I mean, they have Yossi and Saros there. It's a nice little team in Nashville. They're definitely. I mean, I feel like the matchup against Colorado, obviously the Stanley Cup champions in the first round, was a tough matchup for them with Saros not even playing in the first round. Kind of a kick in the dick for him. I said that before, but I think Nashville definitely on the up and coming.
Yeah, Nashville's definitely a pretty good team, and they just need a few key assets to be one of the better teams in the Western Conference. But I mean, yeah, that matchup last playoffs with Colorado was just a waste of 8 days, as Calgary's coach said it. I'm drawing a blank what his name is right now, but
Daryl Sutter.
yeah, what?
Daryl Sutter.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, especially with Saros out, and it's just like they didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, it was just a waste of 8 days, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't have said it better. I can't. That's just so funny to hear another coach say that about another team. Like,
and they all laughed about it too.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there dead serious. Like, you guys think I'm joking? Wait till you see it. And it was literally 8 days.
Next up, San Jose Sharks, let me say that again. Next up, we got a couple of things to quickly run through. San Jose Sharks will name Mike Greer as their next GM. He'll make history as the first black GM in the NHL. So congrats to him on being one of the newer GMs in the league.
He also played for them.
Yes, he did. That is very impressive for him.
Good player.
Nice little piece of history right there. I didn't hear that either, to be honest.
I did see that on ESPN this morning. Sharks are a cool team, but it's like they're never going to be good. And what's crazy is like the Penguins beat them in the first of their back-to-back cups. I always forget that.
They were good back then.
In like 16,
when
they went.
Remember they were like the 1 seed like for like 2 years in a row, because there was that meme where they would always choke.
Yeah.
But
who's on that team? Carlson, Couture, Brent Burns.
Carlson, Couture, Pavelski. Who was their goalie? I'm drawing a blank.
Martin Jones.
No way he was their starter.
He's the goalie.
He was, yeah.
Wow.
He went to the cup.
What'd you guys win that series in 5?
6. It was in San Jose. We had home ice. We won in. I just remember them winning in San Jose, and I know we didn't sweep.
Next, Rick Bowness is the new head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. So, a little shake up there for the Jets. Hopefully, they can make something happen this next season.
I heard they wanted to get Barry Trotz, but he said he's taking a year off.
Yeah, I think you're correct.
Who predicted that? I saw something about someone saying that. That's crazy. He wants to take a year off? What? You can just do that? I think. What'd you say?
He's from that area is why they think he was.
Like Winnipeg? Yeah. Oh, maybe Winnipeg.
I don't know. But Bissonnette and Whitney were chirping they were like, you know what it's going to take for me to come coach in Winnipeg? Like,
yeah.
Like that is a pretty shitty spot to live. You're the most sought after free agent head coach, and you think you're going to go to Winnipeg?
Yeah.
And Florida has a vacancy? They might have got a coach by now. I can't remember.
Maybe the Jets can be good again this year. I mean, 2 years ago, they were in the conference finals.
I feel like
last year, they just shit the bed.
They were talking about trading Blake Wheeler.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they still have Kyle Connor and
Luc Dubois.
Luc Dubois. They just got him from Columbus after that little shakeup with Tortorella a year ago.
Yeah, now Torch is over in Philly.
Yeah. A lot of people think the Flyers are going to land Gaudreau.
Are you you saw a report or something about that?
He's from Delaware. Shane Gilbert told me.
That'd be interesting.
That's the home team. Yeah, definitely. Flyers suck though. Even you had Gaudreau. So you guys go from 28 wins to 30.
Yeah, he's 32. Not that big of a difference. He's a good player, but like you said, you have 28 wins. You might he might score 2 OT winners, and you might win 3 extra games, like you said.
You're not making the playoffs with just Gaudreau.
No, it's bigger than that. You need Carter Hart to figure his shit out.
He had so much hope too. He had so much promise. But I don't know. His rookie year, he was insane.
He was supposed to be the next Shesterkin.
Yeah, he was. He played for Team Canada. Shesterkin's doing what he was supposed to
Yeah.
do.
That's what I mean.
But I mean, Shesterkin's got to keep it up too.
But
I don't see him falling
I'm
off
talking,
anytime.
you get the Vezina and the fact that he was in the MVP conversation, like he exceeded expectations already.
Yeah, you're right. But one year is not going to.
Do you
cut
remember
it.
you saying to me like 2 years ago, you were like, the Rangers are going to be nice in like 2 years, dude. We have this goalie Shesterkin. I was like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, nobody knew who he was. Dude, when he played in the KHL, his save percentage was like 970.
Yeah.
It was insane. This guy does not.
Good for the KHL.
He's just a winner, dude. That's why, like, going into the playoffs, everyone was like, "You don't understand. Like, you got to beat this guy 4 times." And I mean, Pittsburgh saw it firsthand. That 4th win is the hardest one to get,
Yep.
especially on a goalie that doesn't want to go home. He hates losing. I don't see him falling off anytime soon. I think he'll be our franchise goalie.
He's your next guy for sure. But
yeah, but see what the Jets can do this year. Maybe they can make the playoffs. Get a little last playoff spot.
I feel like they're that kind of team though, and then they're just going to get swept by Colorado. They're going to be the Bruins.
Yeah, I mean, West is too good over there, especially with Calgary right now being the powerhouse that they are.
Markstrom is such a plug, dude.
He's a regular season goalie.
Yeah.
He's actually not. That's not even the word for it. He's just like either so on or just so off. And in the playoffs, I don't think he was like on once.
Yeah. He wasn't.
Because dude,
he wasn't on once.
He had like 9 shutouts last year.
Yeah. He's so big. Like, how the fuck aren't you good? It's like Vasilevsky. Like, dude, yeah, you're 6'6". Okay, how hard is it?
Yeah.
You're 6'6",
Yeah,
and your chest protector is 5 sizes too big for you.
Vasilevsky's just Markstrom, just 10 times more athletic.
All right, next, Minnesota Wild forward Kirill Kaprizov is supposedly wanted in Russia for allegedly buying a military ID in 2017 and has returned to the United States. A Minnesota Wild source says that he is not in the United States. Definitely more news to come from this. What do we mean? What could this mean for the young star's future? What do you guys think?
I don't know. This obviously, like, who the fuck knows what's gonna happen with this? Like, Mackie, you sent us this, so that I think this all started because of that young. There's some really young like Russian prospect that's gonna come to the NHL, and I guess something happened with like Putin found out or something. Like they were gonna make him stay, and this is obviously why Kaprizov is like, all right, I can get in the fuck back to the U.S. And a lot of these guys are, and now they're. I guess they made this young prospect like join the military because he was like gonna leave for the NHL and not stay and play in the KHL. Some crazy shit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if Kaprizov just stays in the U.S., then he's here right now, isn't he?
If on the note, I added something that says.
Yeah, it says that he's not in the United.
He's not here.
So he's in Russia right now.
He could be in like fucking Mexico partying.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
if I was him, I wouldn't go to the United States. I'd go to like.
Why you can't? He can't. They can't come over here and like take him.
True.
Got to literally declare war at that point.
Yeah. so
I feel like he should get in
and taking a hostage.
Yeah, I feel like he should just get in the U.S. as quick as possible and fucking never leave again.
Yeah. A lot of that's crazy.
Imagine, it's crazy.
It's good.
Well, I feel like if we won't really hear much more of this if he's just in the United States.
It'll end at this.
Yeah, hopefully it does. You don't want to see something bad happen to this guy.
How old is he? Like 21?
Probably like 23.
He was so good last
I think
year.
he's a 90. I think he's a 99.
So he's my age, 23.
Oh, he's 97. So he's 25. But, it's still so young in the
NHL. Good thing he's not in the NFL. I don't think he'd be too good.
You never know. It could be a nice little
Gabriel
running back or
Kaprizov, number
something.
97, running back.
You could do that now with the new number rule change.
Everyone's hyped to wear single digits. He's like, nah, fuck that. I'm wearing 97 as a running back. Now let's get into this little bit of Penguins news and let's jump into some NBA.
Yes, sir. Last point we got here in the NHL, the Pittsburgh Penguins and goaltender Casey DeSmith agree to terms on a 2-year contract. The contract runs through the 2023-2024 season and has an annual value of $1.8 million. Good pickup by the Pens here to keep him, I think. You know, I think there were some rumors floating around about Fleury possibly coming back since he's a free agency. I mean, I've heard stories about tons of different cities for him, but with this, I think it locks in the idea that he's probably not. So
That
Pens
would
are
be
really showing
sick.
their stripes. What's that, Mackie?
I wish Fleury would go back to Pittsburgh. That'd be sick. Cause he's still got it. Like he's still
It is crazy how he's still that good.
good. Yeah, like he's still one of the best in the league, in my opinion, or at
He's
least
a
one of the most
killer.
trustworthy.
He was so good when he was like, when we won the Cup in 09, he was fucking unreal.
Yeah, he was ridiculous back then.
That diving save he made on Lidstrom with like 2 seconds left.
With 2
That's
seconds
ingrained
left,
in my head.
because that is like, what if that goes in
it's a
right
tie
there?
game 7. Anything could happen. In Detroit,
It's just
Such
clutch.
a good spot.
it would be sweet if he came back here, though. I feel like that. I mean, that obviously, like, Mackie, you might not know. That's been bouncing around Pittsburgh. Obviously, people are like, Fleury could come back. Fleury could come back. Is Jari good in the playoffs? Should we bring Fleury back? It's like he's our like security blanket that like that. Basically, like the fan base thinks if we bring Fleury back and we lose in the playoffs, it's like we can accept that. We have Fleury. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We could
you
accept
don't want to.
it.
You don't want to play the what if game.
Exactly. Because obviously he's made it very vocal that he's like, I would go back to Pittsburgh if there's a team. Because when he left Pittsburgh to go to Vegas, he made it very like he kind of made it seem like, all right, I'm not.
This is my
like, I want
home.
to stay in Vegas. You know what I mean? I don't want to get traded. That's why when he got traded to Chicago, it was kind of like, why did he get traded? Because they kind of made it seem like he was their guy. Gave Leonard all that money, and then obviously the change of coaches, an older goalie. When you have a younger, you know what I mean, a goalie sitting behind your starter making more. You know what I mean? A money move, you get rid of the older guy. I mean, the Penguins had to do it with the expansion draft, and he's just been moved around a couple times now. Obviously, in Minnesota, or is he a free agent? You said
He is a free agent this year.
I mean, if he's going to go anywhere, obviously, like you said, with DeSmith and Jari, obviously he's in his situation. He's our guy. I don't see DeSmith or Fleury accepting a third string role. You don't pay your third string guy $1.8 million. But I think you'd see Fleury go to like a Montreal or something if Carey Price ends up stepping away.
That'd be kind of cool.
I feel like, I mean, he's a big French Canadian guy. I don't know what city he's actually from, but I feel like one of those Ottawa. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he's also had like a good rivalry with like Montreal and Carey Price over the years. So
yeah, they were the top 2 guys of like the 2000s.
like the 2010s.
Yeah, like 2010 to 2014.
Well, Lundqvist too, but it was definitely them three.
Yeah, those 3 were the top. Luongo in there a little bit earlier.
Yeah, a little earlier, yeah. Luongo was like
Luongo, Ryan Miller was the era before that.
Yeah. And who?
Luongo, Ryan Miller.
Ryan Miller, yeah. You could even probably throw Brodeur in the 2000s.
Yeah.
He's a little more 99 though, or 1990s.
Yeah. I always forget he played for Florida for so long.
Who?
Luongo.
Yeah, he did. That wasn't. He was a captain in
Vancouver.
Vancouver. He was literally a captain. That's insane.
I just feel like the Vancouver Canucks are like so irrelevant of a team to me.
They're just such a shitty organization.
Yeah.
They'll never be good. They have a nice little young crew right now, but they're not going to hold on to them.
Yeah, they just don't pay anyone. I mean, and
They don't-
it's tough free agent spot. Hey, you want to come play in Vancouver? It's like, how much are you gonna pay me?
That's the thing about the NHL is that like there's so many shitty spots to live because there's so many Canadian teams, and a lot of people don't want to live in Edmonton or Winnipeg or places like that. Like I guess like, the only real place that I would want to live in Canada is Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto or Ottawa.
Yeah, yeah. The kid that I used to play with is playing in Ottawa right now. I
Yeah,
don't know.
what's his name?
Shane Pinto.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't like talked to him, so I don't know
Yeah.
if he likes it. It's
No,
just like
I knew who you were talking about when you said that.
yeah, it's just not like one of the places I would like
I wouldn't
prefer to get
choose,
chatted
but
about.
yeah, if I had to pick out of the Canadian teams, those would be my two choices.
Yeah. Or Calgary. Calgary is like really nice apparently.
I feel like people give Calgary like it's like a farm. I feel like it's just a big farm.
I heard that like Edmonton's like really blue collar and Calgary is like really
Oh really?
white collar.
I've seen pictures
Yeah.
of like the mountains and shit in Calgary. I mean, that's most of Canada. It looks fucking insane, but like
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about it. The only city, I mean, me and Jesse I've been to Toronto, but Toronto, yeah, it definitely would be the number one.
Toronto's like a US city. It literally is.
Yeah.
It basically is, yeah.
Yeah. I've been there. I was there when I was like 16. It's literally
Yeah.
you're not even just like you're in Canada.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's switch lanes. NBA. Let's jump in. Second overall pick, Chet Holmgren, shines in his first summer league game, dropping 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and a summer league record 6 blocks in a 20-point win.
Yeah, this guy looked real promising. I mean, if I'm an OKC fan, I'm pretty happy about him right now.
Yeah, he
'Cause-
looked legit.
But like during a draft, I wouldn't have wanted this guy. But I mean, it is summer league. Don't get me wrong, but it's always nice to see something like that coming from a fan.
Yeah, I think this guy looks. Obviously, you saw like the first play of the game. He just went in and did that crazy dunk.
Yeah,
Sweet. He looks pretty. He looks pretty legit. Did you see? He was wearing the KD 15s, and Kevin Durant tweeted a picture of him and goes, "I see," because he wears number 7 too. He goes, "I
Yeah.
see you 7. I like the kicks too."
yeah, that was cool coming from KD.
Yeah, because like I don't imagine KD to like him.
I don't know. Imagine KD liking anyone.
Exactly, and like of all people, he's gonna give Chet Holmgren praise just because he's wearing his shoes. You know how many dudes in the NBA are wearing Kevin Durant's shoes?
Yeah, showing the young buck some love makes you think: is he going to OKC?
That's what a lot of people said. Because did you see the people like circle? You know how the people do the thing where they circle the letters in like a tweet that mean nothing. It said KD to
Trying to
OKC.
find a code in there.
Yeah, it said KD to OKC, and they were like, "We cracked the code."
That's funny.
All right, next, Utah Jazz trade 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert, to the Minnesota Timberwolves for a handful of players, including Patrick Beverley, Malik Beasley, Walker Kessler, Jared Vanderbilt, Leonardo Bolmaro, and 4 first-round picks.
What do you think about?
Leonardo.
What do you think those Twin Towers?
I thought that was
Minnesota?
I thought that was a pretty interesting trade. Like you said, the Cat and Rudy Gobert match duo up in Minnesota. Minnesota's a team I'm going to be rooting for. I'm a big fan of Anthony Edwards, and kind of like that little trio they have going on up there.
I think Cat is gonna be insane next year. Putting him at the 4 gives him such an advantage because he's such a agile, tall player. I mean, he's gonna be dominant at the 4, especially with Rudy Gobert behind him. He doesn't have to worry about being under the rim as much.
Cat doesn't have to go up and get every rebound now, so he's gonna stand there and wait for Gobert to just tip it to him.
Exactly. This could be good. This team could be really good next year.
Yeah, dude. I mean, keep in mind they won the playing game. Remember Pat Beverley standing on the tables in Utah, and now he's a Jazz.
Yeah, dude. I feel so. Actually, no, I don't feel bad for him, but like
I don't like him.
he talks the most shit, and then he just gets traded in like a 5-person trade for one person.
So funny. Like they just treat him like a bag of jerseys.
Yeah, and he acts like he runs everything. But he's a dick, so I don't even feel bad for him.
Rudy Gobert. Even like, oh, he was in a trade that like landed Kawhi Leonard. You know what I mean? Like, Gobert's
Yeah.
legit, but like, you know what I mean?
He's not a top
Put it this way,
five.
he's not in the trade that's
not even
landing Kevin Durant.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Kevin
Speaking
Durant,
of Kevin
I was
Durant,
just going to say that. Speaking of Kevin Durant, Brooklyn Nets all-star forward Kevin Durant has informed the front office that he requests to be traded. Durant reports that the Phoenix Suns and the Miami Heat are his top destinations. But where will Durant go, and what does this mean for Kyrie's situation? The news coming days after Irving elects to opt into the deal to return to Brooklyn.
the Phoenix Suns are now minus 125 to land Kevin Durant.
Dang.
I still want him to go to Miami.
I kind of do too. I don't know. I feel like he's copying LeBron if he goes down to Miami.
I think he is too, but he just doesn't give a fuck. I mean, he already did the Golden State thing. He doesn't care.
I would love to see him in Phoenix, to be honest. I think that team would be so nice to watch.
Guys, I'm part of my take. PFT and Big How were saying they go, how can we? Maybe Kevin Durant wants to go to the Suns, so people stop calling him a ring chaser because if he goes and plays with Chris Paul, then he's just accepting he's going to lose in the second round.
I really don't think that team would win it either. I think they would choke.
Dude, there's no way the Lakers aren't good again next year.
They're gonna get Kyrie.
That's what I mean. LeBron's gonna
He's going.
be like, dude, he's gonna walk in the front office, even if it's in the middle of the season. If Kyrie's a net, he's gonna keep pulling his little bullshit, and then LeBron's gonna walk in the front office. He's gonna be like, dude, we're in 6th place. Do you want to win a fucking ring or not? They're gonna be like, yeah, okay. Trade the entire bench, give me Kevin Durant, sign 3 dudes off the street.
Yeah, LeBron's gonna be like, listen, dude, I'm 38 years old.
He's gonna be like, dude, I've done this 4 times. I've been in the finals 10 times. Just listen to what I'm saying. Go get me Kyrie Irving. I already fucking won with him.
Yeah, you see what we can do.
You question that guy. If he walks in your office and is like, trade me, I need Kyrie Irving. I'd be like,
You want why you question him? Is because he's formed this team that just went.
like, you're Rob Pelinka. He walks in your office. He's like, trade me or trade for Kyrie Irving right now. I'd be like, yes, sir. Like, you're the GM. He's a fucking player.
Well, he is the GM.
The GM.
The GM.
I agree. I think Kyrie's going to LA.
This
NBA is just fucking.
guy-
These guys just do not care about loyalty.
No, not at all. Especially now, they don't care at all. Because it at the end of the day, it goes both ways. Maybe not for players like Kevin Durant
It's a
or
business
LeBron,
for
but
as much as they don't care about
Yeah.
loyalty. They treat it like a business. They ship these guys around.
Alrighty, jumping back into the NBA, some signings. Darius Garland signs a 5-year, $193 million max extension with the Cavs. Deontay DiVincenzo signs a 2-year, $9.3 million deal with the Warriors. Some big signings here. What do you guys got?
Signing by the Warriors. What about you, Mackie?
I think Darius Garland's a stud.
I think Garland's a stud, but I said about DiVincenzo, I like that little signing by them.
Oh shit, my bad. I wasn't paying
Very good.
attention. Yeah, no, I actually love DiVincenzo ever since because he was on that 20. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, yeah, he won that national championship with Nova. He won MVP in that championship game. But I've always loved him. What did you say?
Gross, that entire tournament.
Sick, and that got him drafted to the Bucks that next
Won a
year.
ring with the Bucks.
I've always loved him. He's always been a nice piece coming off the bench,
I like
and
when he dunks.
when he dunks, yeah, because he's a little white ginger and he got bounce.
The one thing I did like about him on the Bucks was I liked when him and Connaughton would come out, and everyone was like, "These dudes don't look like they're good at basketball, but they're both pretty fucking nice."
And they'll go out and drop threes on you all game.
But that's the thing is like DiVincenzo will fucking yam on someone.
Yeah, definitely.
He's like,
No, I really like this guy. I like this signing for them.
That's a steal for fucking the NBA. It seems like.
It's because he's coming off a pretty tough injury. He's been out for a while.
He missed the entire season last year, most of it, right?
And like a bit of the season before, I think.
A pretty ugly one in the playoffs last year, wasn't it? In that series.
I'm not really positive about when it happened, but I just know he's been out for a really long time.
This is a random question. Who did the Bucks play in the Eastern Conference Finals last year after they beat the Nets in Game 7? Philly?
Celtics.
Celtics?
Oh, when they won it.
Who'd the Bucks play in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Oh, after they beat Brooklyn in the
Before
second
they
round.
played Phoenix, after they played Brooklyn, who'd they play in the Eastern Conference Finals? I don't know why I'm asking. It's just I thought of it. Now I can't stop thinking about it. Is it Celtics?
There's
Is it
only,
Miami?
there's only like 3 out. It wasn't the Celtics. Celtics weren't that
Miami.
good that year. It might have been Miami. That's what I was gonna
Go
say.
with Miami. I'm not looking it up. I'm going with Miami.
I'm gonna go with you on that. The Hawks. The Hawks beat the Sixers in the second round.
So it was the Hawks.
Yeah, it was the
I would have never
Hawks.
guessed that.
Remember
Yeah,
that?
dude. Remember the Heat got bounced in the first round last year?
To who?
Hawks, didn't they? Oh, I'm tripping.
No, the Hawks beat the Knicks in the first
Yeah, the Hawks
round.
played the Knicks because I remember all the Trae
And then they
Young
beat the
MSG.
Sixers.
That was funny.
Yeah, and then they beat the Sixers.
Yep. All right.
And then they played.
I had my years all off. Okay, we're good.
Yeah. No, I can't believe I just remembered that. I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, definitely the Hawks.
Definitely the Hawks.
I don't see that happening again anytime soon.
This next one is fucking insane. Bradley Beal and the Wizards. It's 5-year, $251 million deal. Player option in the 5th year. He becomes only the 10th player on the NBA history to have a no trade clause, joining LeBron James, Kevin Garnett, Carmelo Anthony, Dirk Nowitzki, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Tim Duncan, David Robinson, and John Stockton.
That's some pretty good company right there for Brad Beal.
$50.2 million for Bradley Beal in Washington.
I mean, this guy's a baller, but that's a lot of money, man.
For him, that's a no-brainer. For the Wizards, guess you have to pay someone. Like, this is he just
should be him too.
I'm not getting a ring.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. Like, what do you do now? You're stuck in Washington on a 25-win team for the next 5 years.
Yeah. He's just gonna put up 30 every other night, average like 26 and a half. You know what I mean? Like,
his best chance with this deal is getting them a 7 seed and winning an MVP.
Yeah. $50 million.
Because if they make the playoffs, he puts up 32 points a game. He can win an MVP.
Dude, 50 fucking million. Like, when Mahomes signed that deal a year ago, or whatever that was, for $500 million, 10 years, like, it's unreal. And now it's just like, here's 50 million, you get 50 million, you get 50 million.
Dude, it's just this era that we're in right now. It's
Dude,
just
like another one. I didn't even write this down, but I remember sending this to you. Anthony Simons, fucking Portland, 25
million.
25 million a year.
Dude, that is ridiculous. That is absolutely insane.
I mean, like I said,
like I get it.
All for these dudes
could be
signing these deals, get your money. Like, what do these teams? How do these teams value these players?
Oh yeah, I'm not hating on him at all. Like, get your bag, good
Yeah.
for you. But the amount of money being tossed around in the NBA right now is
it's just like these
mind-blowing.
numbers that you see on the page. It's like, Darius Garland, John Morant, Zion Williamson. I'm obviously we're going to get into Zion in a second, but I'll get the rookie max extension up to, you know what I mean, 193 million up to 231 million with all these incentives. You're coming off a rookie deal and you can qualify for a fucking extension that pays me up to 231 million.
$231 million. At 21 years old, 22
You're not
years
even
old.
negotiating that. That's the rookie max extension. You're not even negotiating.
It's just insane what these guys are making.
Like I said, obviously, like you said, get your bag. But I want to know how these teams value players per salary. They're like, you're worth $25 million a year.
It's just if one team does it, they all got to do it.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily, but if like half of them do it, they all got to
And
do
I
it.
remember seeing something
And
about Dame tweeted something like patience only or loyalty only goes so far.
loyalty, yeah, loyalty. No, loyalty has its timeline or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
like an hourglass
And
emoji.
right after we said you're giving Anthony Simons $25 million a year, he's probably sitting there like, what the fuck is the front office doing? Signing Nurkic, bring in assets for Dame so you guys have more than 35 wins next year, barely get into the playoffs. That team is literally the worst team in the league without him.
All right. And the New York Knicks signed former Dallas Mavericks guard Jalen Brunson to a 4-year, $104 million deal that includes a player option on the 4th year.
Becky?
So yeah, I like this play. I don't know if I like it for $104 million. I think he's going to be a great player for us, but I mean, get someone better. We need someone better. We don't need Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's a great role player for a good team. He's not a all-star. He's not going to be someone that comes to be an all-star for a team that needs to be brought out of the dumps.
Like you guys needed to do a move like the Timberwolves just did.
Yeah, or sign KD. You just give Jalen Brunson $104 million. Go for KD. Offer him a quarter billion dollars.
Give him that Bradley Beal deal. Durant's under contract for 4 more years. I keep forgetting that.
Oh yeah, that was dumb. But I mean, you still got to pick up his contract.
And obviously he wants out. Could you imagine the Nets trade him fucking straight to the Knicks?
Or bring in someone that Kevin Durant will be attracted to.
Yeah. Basically anyone but Kyrie.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how this plays out for the Knicks. I don't think it's a bad signing at all. But
I think it is a good signing. Like you said, obviously, $1 million seems like that's the new thing. $25 million a year for 2 guards that are, like you said, not even all stars. But for the Knicks, with Barrett, like what you have 2 guards now. Who's going to play what? Is Brunson going to play the point?
yeah, definitely. RJ Barrett's not a point guard at all, and Brunson definitely goes both ways. But I don't know. If all those players step up, this team could be a nice all-around team. Maybe make an 8 seed or a 7 seed, but they're not going anywhere. You're not bringing anything to New York.
Boston, Miami, or Philly in the first round. The thing about the NBA, the top 3 seeds in each conference are so far from 4 or 5. You know what I mean? 4 through 8. No, the top 4 in the West and the top 3 in the East.
No, there's 4 in.
Yeah.
Well, now there's Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Brooklyn sucks.
Brooklyn's out. It's just Philly, Miami, and Boston. Milwaukee 4.
Yeah, but I guess Miami is in that conversation.
Miami's just been so consistent.
Yeah, you're right. And they were the 1 seed last year, so you can't.
They went to the finals like 2 years ago against the Lakers.
Yeah. So I guess there are 4.
In the West, I'd say obviously Golden State, Lakers, Phoenix.
You can't even really count the Lakers right now.
But Phoenix, they've been legit. Not gonna.
Yeah.
This is loaded again.
No, there's not. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's a team we're forgetting. I don't want to say
the Jazz, kind of like
the Jazz, but
they were the 1 seed 2 years ago. They just choked in the playoffs.
I guess the West is a little less.
The West, but like then you have like the Mavs and the Nuggets.
That's
the Mavs and the Nuggets.
They're like those 3 teams of the West the past 5 years.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but if you're coming out of there as like a 7 or an 8 seed. You know, even we saw Brooklyn with Kyrie and KD this year get swept by the 2 seed Celtics, because it's just you need more than that nowadays. Like the games are so much more of a team sport. Everyone else is contributing just as well because everyone else can shoot the 3 ball now. So points are coming at like crazy. You can't just carry a team with 1-2 players that has no chemistry because they haven't played all season.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and finally, the Memphis Grizzlies forward Jaren Jackson underwent surgery to repair a stress fracture in his right foot. Jackson is expected to be sidelined for 46 months, but is expected to make a full recovery, so good news there.
This is a tough hit on the Grizzlies, but I don't think it's gonna. The Grizzlies, that's who we were forgetting.
Yeah, but like, they're like the play-in team the past couple of years. They're not yet.
No, they were 2 seed this year.
The 2 seed?
2 or the 3?
Way.
No, they were the 2 because the Warriors were the 3 and Phoenix was 1. Grizzlies are going to be good, dude. These next few years, they're going to be definitely a top 3 team for the next
I saw
5
Ja Morant
years.
at plus 1,800 to win the MVP next year.
Oh my god, those are great odds. He's ridiculous. He's so good. Yeah. They were sick, dude. That team all around was stacked.
I don't know why I thought they played in the play-in.
Because they did 2 years ago. They beat Golden
started
State.
the play-in game.
Yeah, they beat Golden State. Well, it was Lakers, Golden State, and then it was Portland, Memphis. And Memphis was the 9 seed playing in the play-on game, so they had to win 2 games.
That was a sick play-in tournament, actually.
Yeah, well, that game with Golden State and Memphis was insane. It went into overtime and everything. Ja balled out. They're good, though. I like Memphis. I love
Jaren
that
Jackson's
team.
a really good player. You see that, like, chubby dude they drafted?
Yeah, it's
See that, like,
what?
chubby dude they
What's his-
drafted? Lofton?
Lofton, Kenny Lofton, yeah. He was balling out
dude.
tonight in
He
the
looks
summer.
nice. He's the next Zach Randolph. They like the bigger players.
That's cool. I love Zach
Me and
Randolph.
my cousin used to always love him. Zebo.
I don't think he's going to be the next Zach Randolph.
They just,
but-
I'm just the big chubby guy in Grizzlies jersey was the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, it's that image.
Alrighty, good stuff out of the NBA. Let's transition to some NFL. The big talk of the town, Baker Mayfield to the Carolina Panthers in exchange for a 2024 conditional 5th-round pick. Pretty interesting here for the Browns, puts them in a spot.
Huff, tell me how much you like that.
Obviously, I've been wanting him to get the fuck out of Cleveland for the past couple weeks. Still no really true answer on what's going to happen with Deshaun, but I didn't think he deserved to be putting up with what the whole situation in Cleveland. And I mean, I know he's not the greatest quarterback, pretty the definition of average in the NFL, if you ask me, but I think him going to Carolina gives him kind of a lot of times, and you know what I mean, all pro sports guys go to a new destination, change of scenery, figure things out, like sometimes helps a guy out a lot in their career. But week 1, Browns at Panthers. You guys see that?
Yeah, I did. I'm excited for that one.
Week
Baker
1,
Mayfield.
Browns at Panthers. Baker Mayfield revenge game. Week 1, Sunday Night Football. Broncos at Seahawks. Russell Wilson first game back in Seattle.
This is going to be a cool week 1. A lot going on. I hope Baker Mayfield throws 5 touchdowns,
I texted my
400
cousin the
yards.
same thing. I said, dude, give me the points with Panthers right now. They'll be underdogs.
I'm not if Deshaun Watson.
If Deshaun Watson plays, that'll be a tough bet.
If Deshaun Watson doesn't play, it's probably gonna be like an even line.
And I'll hammer the
But
Panthers.
if he does, well, do they have lines for it yet?
Yeah, let's look.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
No
FanDuel's
way.
week 1 lines. I wouldn't be surprised if that game's blacked out because of Watson.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you can bet it now, get it now because they're probably like +7 or something like that.
I'm literally pulling it up.
September 11th, correct? Cleveland Browns at Carolina Panthers. Browns are favored at -1.
Dude.
They're not expecting
Yeah, they
Deshaun
don't
Watson
expect it.
to
You're
play.
better off waiting for Watson. The Panthers right now are +100 week 1.
Good thing we didn't take Astros, by the way.
News.
They're down 7-4. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy week 1. That's cool. I like that.
I saw someone make a meme. They were like, the NFL script writers did their job this offseason.
Yeah, definitely did.
And now I'm looking at some of these week 1 matchups. Bucks at Cowboys again, week 1. Isn't that last year?
What? We got Tom Brady week 1 again.
Looking at some of these other ones.
That's
Steelers, Bengals, obviously. The first game, Bills, Rams.
Bills, Rams +1 at home.
You take
The defending champs are underdogs at home week 1.
I feel like there's a stat with that. I feel like the defending champs don't always cover week 1 or something. Don't hold me to that, but I feel like I've seen something like that. And obviously, +1.
Bucks didn't last
Exactly.
year. Can't remember they're like -8 against Dallas, and they ended up winning by 2.
That could be a stat we need to look up closer to week 1, but
There are some nice. I like these lines. I miss looking at
Dude,
NFL lines.
It's coming.
I saw some of it was like 6 more Sundays or 9 more Sundays. I was like, oh my god.
It's
We're in
definitely
single
9.
digits.
Wait, no, it's probably 6. Probably like
That was
7.
a week before.
Alrighty, next, the Washington Commanders and wide receiver Terry McLaurin agree to terms on a 3-year extension worth $72 million.
Yeah, he's the next receiver. Get his big deal. Obviously, the start of this offseason, everyone was saying Debo. And the 3 other ones that ended up coming out were A.J. Brown gets traded on draft night, signs a $100 million 4-year deal with the Eagles. Terry McLaurin gets 3-year extension with the Commanders. It's a nice little extension for him to bet on himself in those 3 years and try to get another one of those, another big money deal. And the last one was Metcalf, but looking like Metcalf and Debo are going to have to wait till next year.
Yeah, Terry's a baller. I like this.
I like
signing.
that too.
I saw something. And he said he was excited to get going with Carson Wentz. So, if we see some good Carson Wentz like we did in his first year in Philly, then this could be a nice wide receiver QB duo.
And keep in mind, Washington's entire defense was very overrated, but they were all injured last year. So they get some of those guys back.
I think that team could come together pretty nice. Not like a powerhouse or one of the better teams in the NFC, but
Like a nice
definitely
little moneymaker week in, week out.
Yeah,
I like
definitely.
Antonio Gibson, the running back.
Yeah, see, they got some nice pieces, and you got Chase Young. That defensive line is pretty good.
Payne, the studs on the D line.
Yeah,
Just Carson Wentz. What Carson Wentz are you going to get?
exactly. It comes down to that. Yeah, that team could be a nice little sleeper. We'll see.
That division, it depends what happens with Hurts. Obviously, there's a question mark with Philly. Kind of the same situation with what's going to happen with him. We know what Dallas is capable of, and then fucking Giants.
Yeah, and I mean they're kind of out of the question. I do think that Washington will be the 2 seed in that NFC East this year.
I have a lot of faith in Hurts next year, I think.
Yeah, you have or you don't?
I do. I think with AJ Brown, another year with Sirianni, Miles Sanders, another year. I think he had a couple injuries last year, but Devontae Smith, another year in the league. Goddard, they have some weapons in Philly. The nice offensive line.
No, yeah, I'm not saying that they're gonna win 6 games.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I think Washington's gonna be a lot better than everyone thinks. So maybe they can get that wild card spot over Philly with like a tiebreaker or something. So I do think one of them will get it.
Yeah. So, all right. Speaking of 2 very average quarterbacks, I put together a little list of 5 guys that kind of meet the criteria when you think of that word in the NFL. Just game managers, you would say, for some of them.
Basically, just 5 quarterbacks. You can put any of these guys 1 or 5.
Exactly, and it's basically all opinion based, and there's no fact to back up any of this, other than the fact that one of them has a Super Bowl but didn't do anything for it, and I think that leads into the 5. Jimmy Garoppolo. This is not my order, but here's the 5. Jimmy Garoppolo, Ryan Tannehill, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz, the newly acquired Baker Mayfield is the reason I thought of this little list here. So, Mackie, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. So, a lot of thought into this. I changed this list like 10 separate times because there's just so many things that came to mind when I was thinking about it. But 5, I am going to go Jimmy Garoppolo. I just think that he's definitely proved the least out of these 5. And I mean, I understand he made it to a NFC Championship game last year, but there's a reason that they're trying to get rid of, or he's like not starting in that offense this year. But so I put him at 5, and then I was gonna go Tannehill at 4, but I went with Wentz at 4 because ever since his injury after his 11-2 start or whatever it was, he hasn't proven anything and has looked shaky ever since and been bouncing around. So we'll see how he does this year, but I have him at the 4 spot right now. I'll go Jameis Winston 3. I just think that he hasn't really proved too much. He's been all right. He's done more than these other guys, but he got screwed out of Tampa, and he just, I don't know. I think he has more potential than Jimmy Garoppolo and Carson Wentz at this point in his career.
High risk, high reward player, some would say.
Yeah, exactly.
He can throw 30
2,
picks, but he can also throw 30 touchdowns, and he did that with Tampa Bay.
Exactly, and he's also like another player on this list, but the other player I think has a lot higher of a peak. But number 2, I'm gonna go Ryan Tannehill, and I put him this high because he's a hard quarterback to read, but in his system that he's played in, he's been pretty good. He's been a playoff quarterback consistently, and he has no reason to not be this high in this list. I mean, he's definitely proven the most, and he's been good. He's found ways to win games. Number 1, definitely a biased decision because I'm high on this guy, but I am going to go Baker Mayfield. And just like Jameis Winston, he's a high risk, high reward player because he can have games where he goes off for 500 yards and puts up 50 points, and then he can have a game where he only has like 5 completions because he's such a player that gets in his own head that his ceiling is so high that that's the reason I have him at number 1. But he has to get out of the mindset where when he throws an interception or when he's not on, that he can't get out of that slump because he's one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league, in my opinion. We saw it in college. We saw how athletic he is. So I think he goes to Carolina right now and he strives, and he maybe even gets a playoff spot this year. And that's why I put him at number 1.
So, we have pretty similar lists, except I've Wentz the 5. Obviously, just the kind of like you said, the past couple of years that we've seen him with the injuries. Last year in Indy, kind of a tough year. If he didn't have Jonathan Taylor, that team might have won 3 games. So that's why I have Wentz at the 5. Put Jimmy at the 4, just because of I know he is the better team, but kind of the definition, like I said, of a game manager, just plug and play 49ers, and it's looking like they're going to start to turn the tide over to Trey Lance in the next couple of years, or a year or so. I shouldn't say next couple of years. It's going to be sooner rather than later. But like you said, hasn't really proven much other than the fact that he just gets the job done, and that's what you want in the NFL. That's why he's still around. That's also why he's never won anything. You got to do, more than just get the job done. You got to go above and beyond. Like, that's why, not that any of these 3 guys above him, but I have the same top 3 as you. I have Jameis at the 3 spot. I think the unproven kind of winning ability and the ability to stay consistent puts him at the 3. Tannehill at the 2. I think you take him out of Tennessee with a running back like Derrick Henry in his backfield. I think you see a little bit different quarterback, kind of like what we saw in Miami, kind of the struggles that he had early on in his career where he got drafted to the Dolphins. But then, yeah, I agree right with everything you said about Baker at the 1. I think, like I said, the change of scenery going down to Carolina and guys like McCaffrey around him. I know Robbie Anderson made comments about not wanting Baker Mayfield on the team, but once these guys start throwing the ball around, like once he's your starter, you guys got to get it. You know what I mean? You're working together. Whether you don't have to be best friends, it's a professional relationship. He's throwing the ball to you. You know what I mean? Like, you want to have a good relationship with your quarterback. So I think that'll be squashed. I think people are making a little bit too big of a deal about that. But Carolina has a nice defense. I think, like you said, this that playoff or that division, Atlanta, New Orleans, who knows what's going on with either of those teams. Obviously, Jameis is on this list. That's one that we're talking about. Jameis, Taysom. Obviously, they got guys like Chris Olave in the draft this year. They've had Kamara. Who knows what the fuck's going to happen with Michael Thomas, if he's ever going to play again, if he's going to play, who knows. But Atlanta, I think they're a couple years away from their success. Obviously, the explosive kind of just freak athlete, Cordell Patterson at the running back spot. I saw he's going to be a full go at running back this year. He's fully committed to the running back position, so it'll be interesting to see what happens down in Atlanta with Mariota and Ritter. But I think that division's pretty much open, not to win it, obviously, with Tampa Bay. But like you said, I think you could not easily, but I think you could find a playoff spot if you're Baker Mayfield and the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We did have really similar lists, and I think but when you said about Ryan Tannehill, you said you take him out of Tennessee and he doesn't succeed as well. I 100% agree, but we haven't seen it, so you can't just assume at that point.
Yeah.
But that's what I put. That's the only reason I put him.
I'll throw you a curveball. If I throw in Kirk Cousins, where does he rank on this list?
Dude, that is such like another. He.
Dude, me and my cousin are so good. It's just we'll text each other random times. I'll be like, rank these fucking quarterbacks right now.
Kirk Cousins is in between Jameis and Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah. Better than Jameis. He's better than Jameis. Yep. Yeah, that's where we wrote it. He'd be my new 3. Jameis would be the 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to think of like one more average quarterback to do that with. Daniel Jones.
Who?
Daniel Jones.
I think he's 6 or last.
Yeah, he's last.
Just think of one more. We can find another one that's like that.
Carr.
No, I have him at 1.
Yeah, he's my 1 there. He's too good.
See, I was thinking players like that, but I was like, nope. I was thinking Justin Herbert, but he won. 2. That's a good. That's a good one.
Young.
I put him
above Jameis for me.
Yeah, I don't have him that high. I put him above Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know if I put him above Wentz or not. Okay, I'll take him above Wentz.
Wentz. You'd have him right below Wentz there.
At this point in his career, I'll take him above Wentz.
I guess I'm leaning more at the fact that he just got Tyreek Hill, and I'm expecting a big year from them.
You're expecting a lot out of him, yeah. But
it just reminds me so much of a lefty Russell Wilson.
He's just. I don't think he's athletic enough.
Yeah, I think that hip injury in college fucked him up.
Which, don't get me wrong, he's a baller, but he's a less athletic Russell Wilson.
Lefty Russell Wilson.
Who knows though? He could ball out this year, and this whole entire list changes, puts him at the top.
Yeah. He truly has the most potential out of all those guys if you add Cousins and Tua. We're going to start to do more stuff like that in the coming weeks. Looking to get something like that going in, episode in and out. But as far as looking ahead to the future, MLB All-Star Game, All-Star Weekend coming up here in a couple weeks. We got the Home Run Derby on Monday, July 18th. We're looking to do something for that. Definitely stay tuned to the Instagram. We'll definitely be letting you guys know what we're going to have going on there. Jesse, you got anything else?
I don't have anything else, Dad. All good stuff coming out of the leagues. Lots of good deals coming throughout. More to add each and every week. So keep up on us and have a good week.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, boys. Thanks again for a great week. We'll be back.
And that's going to do it for us this week on Hit the Books Podcast. Thank you for all the support week in and week out. Please be sure to share and check out our various social media platforms and check out our website. All the info is located in our link tree in the description below. And always remember to hit the books.
Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.